Hey, it's MachineDaena, and in this chapter, we're going to be covering all about how you can set up Twitch and customize your Twitch channel. So the community guidelines on Twitch are super important. Twitch requires you to accept these guidelines before you even do your first stream and set up your account. It's really important to know what you can and can't do on Twitch as a broadcaster and also as a viewer. They seriously frown upon, and it's not allowed for you to do hate speech of any kind and in your community. You also cannot be racist in any way, and neither can your community. Homophobia and transphobia are also things that are not allowed on Twitch. Any kind of discrimination is banned according to the Twitch terms and conditions and the Twitch community guidelines. There's also some other things to just briefly mention, and of course you should read these in detail yourself, but you should be aware about copyrighted content, particularly copyrighted music. This can actually get your account banned, as can the discrimination stuff we talked about earlier. If you're streaming with copyrighted music or copyrighted content, if someone makes a DMCA claim, that can actually get your account banned or at least copyright struck, and accumulation of certain number of copyright strikes can also get you banned from Twitch as well. So have a good read through the community guidelines here, which we'll link, and you just need to understand these in detail before you move forward with the account setup process. So setup and login of Twitch is actually quite an easy process, very similar to the setup of accounts for loads of other things that you see online. You will need an email address or a phone number, although most people choose to go with an email address. Some streams do enforce you to have a verified phone number in order to actually chat on the stream. So if you want to use your Twitch account to chat on anyone's stream, you will need to verify your phone number, but you don't have to do that as part of the setup process. You can set up an account just with an email address. So first of all, you're going to need to go to twitch.tv, and you can click on the sign up account in the top right hand corner. There's also sometimes banners. In this case, there's a banner at the bottom suggesting for me to sign up. So just click on the sign up process here. Now, it's first going to ask us to think of a username. Now, let's just talk briefly about usernames for a second. Your username is a really essential part of your brand. It almost becomes the focal point of your brand, and you may even introduce yourself as what your username is in your content. For example, I introduce myself as MachineDaena, and that is my Twitch username. So the username needs to be rememberable, it needs to be catchy, but it can't be too complex as well. There's no point in having like a string of random numbers in your username because people simply won't remember it, and you yourself will then have to remember that every time you log in as well. The important thing to note is you can actually change your Twitch username every 60 days. So you just need to be aware when you set this username up that you won't be able to change it for another 60 days. However, you can change the capitalization of the username. So for example, if you set it up without a capital at the start, you can change that at any point to have capitalization of any of the letters. So we're going to just think of a catchy username here. So that's something that Twitch has indicated is available. Now we just need to confirm a password, a date of birth, and I'm going to use my email address here to register the Twitch account. So once you've filled in all the details, you just hit the sign up button and it will create your account for you on Twitch. Now you will be asked to just verify that you actually own the telephone number or the email address via a code. So what we just need to do is go into our email address here, copy that code, and paste the code into this verification here. Once this is verified, Twitch will then start the account and essentially set that account process up for you. It only takes a couple of seconds, and now we officially have our Twitch account ready. Final thing to just mention on the account setup process is that under the account settings here, using the icon in the top right hand corner here, and under the settings tab, you will find security and privacy settings here. And here you just want to make sure that you're enabling two-factor authentication. So you want to just set this up using this tool here. So once you've actually set your Twitch account up and you've agreed to all of the community guidelines and terms and conditions, we can actually start customizing our channel. So I mentioned earlier about display name here. Now I'm just going to actually capitalize this A here, and I'm going to capitalize the M to make sure that's just standing out a little bit more. Again, we can change the capitalization, but we're not able to change the actual username itself for a 60-day period of time. Now at this point, we can upload a profile picture, we can upload a banner, and we can also do the bio as well. And we'll just go through the process of doing these one by one. First of all, the profile picture, this needs to be something that is on brand, something, again, that's quite rememberable. It does display as a circle, and it's displayed throughout the whole of Twitch. You can change this at any time, so it's not a problem, and it needs to be uploaded in JPEG, PNG, a GIF, and it cannot exceed 10 megabytes. If you want to, you can check out the owned avatar creator, so it's a manga avatar creator in the owned.tv store, and this means you can actually create an avatar of yourself, which is like cartoon style and looks really, really cool. For now, I'm just going to keep it simple, which looks really nice and striking. Click save, and that'll be our profile picture uploaded. Next up, the profile banner. You can actually search and browse a load of different profile banners on the Own TV store. There's loads of these available, and it's already in the predetermined size that they need to be for Twitch, which is 1200 by 480 pixels, and again, no more than 10 megabytes in size. So we upload this banner just by clicking the update icon, and we can drag a photo into this section here. Again, I'm just keeping this on brand, so I'm keeping it sort of matched with the profile picture here. Just briefly, it's really important that you try and keep your branding and your profile as consistent as possible. It's not absolutely essential. However, most people like to see a consistent brand, a recognizable brand, and this will help you grow into the long term. Also, if you ever get to working with any brands like to see a strong branding from you as the streamer. So it's also worth it from the point of view of getting commercial deals with companies. Other thing to note here is that you just need to make sure that you've got copyright to actually use some of the pictures as well. If you browse and look on the Own TV store for banners and you pay for them and get them downloaded, you are given the copyright to use them, obviously, on your Twitch profile. So if you're actually Googling stuff and just taking banners from Google, there's a chance that they might be copyrighted, so you need to be careful with things like that. Next up, the bio. We've got 300 characters to use here. With the bio, it's normally good to just talk a little bit about your schedule, briefly about yourself, and also perhaps about the sort of content that you provide or the games that you play whilst you're streaming. Typically with a bio, you don't need to be overly selly, just be as authentic as you can be, and people tend to like that. They will normally just have a quick read of that before they start actually watching your channel. So once we've perfected our username, profile picture, and banner, and also put a short bio in, we can click Save Changes, and that will make a big difference to how your profile looks. Now, in the dashboard under the settings and channel settings here, we've also got the option to look at some other different things too. In particular, we can look at the social links. So here we can add links to things like our Discord or our YouTube channel, and they will then appear also on your Twitch profile. So I'm just going to copy the link to my YouTube channel. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to put the title as YouTube. I'm going to paste in the URL, and I'm going to click add to that, and that will then display on my profile. We can see here under the about section on my profile, there is this link here. When I click on that, it will pop open YouTube. Now, one final thing to mention about channel customization on Twitch. If you go onto your profile page in the About section here, we can go to Edit Panels, and you can pop open the panels here. Now, with these, you can actually install extensions through Twitch, which we won't get into in this lesson here, but we can just add some information and some panels on Twitch about what we do. So I'm going to click the plus icon here to add a new panel, and I'm going to add a text, image, or panel here. Now here we've got the option to upload a 320 pixel wide image. It can be as long as you want it to be, as long as it's 320 pixels wide. And we can also have that link to a URL if we want it to. If we want to, we can also have a short description underneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and upload two different types just to show you the difference here. Now, again, owned.tv is a brilliant place to look for panels. There are loads and loads of panels available, all kinds of designs that can help you build and customize your Twitch page and your brand to a really awesome extent. So I'm just going to add an image here, which is a YouTube panel, copy this across. And we can see here, because this is a PNG file, it actually cuts off the corners here and makes the panels nice and round. So you can do that with a PNG, but you cannot do that with a JPEG. Click done on that. We can see there's a preview here. And I can now link this to my YouTube channel. So we'll copy that again and make sure that link's there. Now, if you want, we can put a description in here. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to add a separate panel here. I'm going to add another image. And in this image, it's going to be an About Me panel. So again, this is just some personal information that I'm going to put about me. Click done on that. And in this section here, I'll just put test text here for now, but we can put a lot more information about our channel, more than the 300 character limit on the bio section of your Twitch profile. I'm not going to put an image link here. I'm just going to have it as the text underneath it. We'll click submit on that. We'll click submit on the YouTube channel, and these are both submitted. We can even now move these panels around by just clicking and dragging them across like that. Now, when we go off the edit panel section, we can see that these appear. We see the About Me's here with the text, but there's no link on that. But on the YouTube channel, when I click the panel, it will open up the YouTube page. Have fun customizing your profiles.